Hey everybody, Pastor Jeremy here with your Daily Faith Moment. And as we continue this week's theme of changing perspectives, I want us to think and reflect on the story of Thomas, someone in the book of John that's a very intriguing character, especially as he plays out throughout the Passion narrative or Jesus's journey towards the cross. One of the things that we see in Jesus or in John, that's different, is the reason why Jesus is killed. Some theologians and I myself believe that Jesus is actually killed in John not just because of the things he said, like he is in Matthew, for saying that he's going to destroy the temple or that he's the Son of God, as it is in the other Gospels. I believe in John, actually, Jesus is killed because he raises Lazarus from the dead. And Thomas plays a really interesting role in that story in John 11, in this idea that when Jesus hears and the disciples hear that Lazarus is sick, Jesus' reaction is to stay for 3 more days in the place that they're at before they go to be with Lazarus. But Thomas's reaction is completely different. Thomas's reaction is, we need to go, and we need to go there now so that we may die with him. This really intense kind of camaraderie or companionship that Thomas is willing to name and to engage in is interesting because fast forward 9 chapters after Jesus' death, all of the disciples are sitting in the upper room with the doors locked because they're scared out of their minds about what's just happened. They've seen Jesus killed. They don't know what's going to happen to them. And in this wonderful story of doubt that Thomas comes in, he doesn't see Jesus with them at first, and he says, until I see him, until I put my fingers in his wounds, I won't believe. Thomas, something's happened from chapter 11 when he's willing to go and die with Lazarus to this place where he's not even willing to believe in Jesus' resurrection. That maybe death has carried him so far beyond hope that he just can't believe. And yet, the story does not end with Thomas walking out in disbelief. No, Jesus comes and offers his hands. He offers the wounds and he says, touch them, put your fingers there. As I mentioned back in Lent, as I went over this story, this idea that Jesus is actually asking Thomas, put your flesh in mine. Become one here. That actually, if we look at what God has done in Jesus Christ, God has become the essence of humanity. He has died. And yet, there is more. And that's what I love about creation. That's what I love about thinking about the idea that God is with us. Emmanuel, the kingdom is here now, that we are a part of this thing that God has done with us and is still doing with us, that the Holy Spirit is God's declaration that God has not given up on flesh. Paul doesn't like flesh. Paul wants to make it a dialectic of something bad versus something good. Well, the Jewish writer would never believe that your creation is something bad. The Jewish writer may say that your creation needs to be redeemed. Sometimes we stray too far, we go too far, we go the wrong way, we need to turn around and come back. And that's what I love about what Jesus offers Thomas. He offers Thomas a way back, a change of perspective from death to life. I love this because it's what we need over and over and over again. I know I need it every day. I know I need it right now in this time. I know as we get news of increased numbers and things that just make us all kind of gulp and wonder what's coming next. As we hear of a new flu in China that might have pandemic qualities. We all sit in these places and we wonder if it's only death that waits for us, as Thomas did. And Jesus, every day, every moment, every place where we go, I need to see the wounds before I believe. I need to see the living wounds, the living death, the resurrection. Jesus shows us that again and again. Jesus invites us to change our perspective, to see life in a different way, to see that redemption through Jesus Christ is now a part of life, a part of us. that we are a part of this good news of Jesus Christ. May God bless you and keep you today. Amen.